Waters also much calmer out there today, even compared to yesterday. We were still kind of dealing with those choppy conditions, those high seas. No longer seeing that high surf, that rip current advisory like we had yesterday. So waters even a lot calmer out there today. As we look at your hour by hour planner, we're mostly going to spend today in the 80s for a lot of Bay Area spots. Highs today, they'll top out right around 87 to 89 degrees. There will be a couple of spots that hit into the 90s, but we're talking low 90s. So not as much heat in place today, but we are still going to talk about some storms. I'll show you that in just a second. But the tropics, the Atlantic Basin, still very active out there. We've got yet another wave that popped up in the 8 o'clock advisory. This one just off the coast of Africa. Ahead of that, we've got this area highlighted in red in the Atlantic. That one has a good chance of developing over the next 2 days, the next 7 days. So that one could become our next named storm of the season, but it's particularly this area. That one's close to home, and that one we're watching very closely for development over the next several days. The odds slowly increasing. Now we're up to 50% chance that this develops over the next 7 days. So it's really going to be a slow development. It's not until the middle of next week where we'll have a better idea of what this storm might do. But a lot of conditions in place the next couple of days for this to slowly start to strengthen. So we may see a named storm out of this. And of course, if it does develop in the Western Caribbean, it likely moves into the Gulf. So it's important to keep a close eye on this forecast as we'll continue to watch it over the next couple of days. In the area that we're watching, it's just a very hotbed. We're talking not just warm waters, but very deep warm waters. So that provides a lot of fuel for storms to tap in. And you can see the track Helene took. It was able to kind of gain some strength as it moved over the area that we're currently watching. Otherwise, that hurricane and that tropical storm out in the Atlantic Basin, both of those are not areas of concern. They're both going to stay out in the open waters. So by a couple of days from now, we'll no longer be talking about Tropical Storm Joyce or Hurricane Isaac. But both of those have been able to add up to our named storms. We now have had 10 named storms of the season. 7 of those have made landfall. So it's been a busy season, and we got to transition